right now on Douyin, which is Chinese TikTok, there is a massive, huge viral push, not a push, but a viral repertoire of content about flight stewardess or air stewardess or
air
flight
hostess.
attendants.
Flight attendants.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it all comes to a crux because it starts off as rather fun and whatever. And it goes like this obsession with flight attendants around the world. And it goes into some very mean things. But I'm going to start off with what is going viral that isn't so mean first.
Okay, so let's
if you pull up the Chinese internet right now, there's a lot of videos that go around showing different flight stewardess or air hostesses or whatever you want to call them around the world.
Yeah.
How they close airplane doors.
I'm in a very weird spot right there.
Oh, you are. How they close airplane doors.
Okay, all right.
So this is America. So they show a woman from America. Then we have, this is Russia. We have Japan. Right? This is showing the different countries around the world, how they close airplane doors. This is how it was. This is Ukraine. Wow, it's not a deep fake.
Yeah.
This is India.
Wouldn't have known otherwise.
Yeah. This is Thailand. This is Malaysia.
What a bizarre, like...
what a weird trend.
It's like a fetish or something.
I mean, it is and it isn't because...
Indonesia.
Indonesia. So, it is and it isn't. It comes off like that, Philippines. It comes off like that, but it's so wildly popular, and there's men and women in the comment section, right? And I think there's actually some, as Canada, there's some genuine interest in how things work outside the world, and I think we can explain this away.
Here's China.
China. And that's because most Chinese people don't get a chance to go abroad.
No, they don't.
So this is a way of international travel in a way.
Yeah.
You get to see the outside world, right?
That
That being said, this gets weird because there is this video of this older woman from America, a flight attendant, right? That is in thousands and thousands of Douyin videos, right? And it's all surrounding the same story, and that is why Chinese flight attendants are beautiful and fair-skinned, and why Americans use middle-aged aunties. And when they say middle-aged aunties, they're actually talking about old women, right? And it starts off as like a genuine curiosity question, but it's like this really mean thing about how China is so much better than America because America has old flight attendants. I'm not even joking. Like it's in thousands and thousands of videos of the same clip, right? So I just wanted to show you a cookie cutter format that you'll see. It says Chinese flight attendants all have fair-skinned, long-legged beauties, right?
You know, they're not wrong.
Yes, but did I say they're wrong?
No, I'm just saying they're not wrong.
But there's a reason they're doing this.
Before we even get into this, we do have to talk about the fact that China has discriminatory hiring practices, but legally. So if you're a boss and you want to hire someone, you can specify they must weigh how much, how tall they are, they must be good looking, or you can say this much hair length, this not, it must have light skin. That you can put down in your job advert, and it's legal. And then they'll measure you and be like, you're not tall enough, you can't get this job, you cannot apply for this job.
By the way, a resume in China, not just about flight attendants.
For everything.
Resume for everything, you must include your picture.
Yes, I've told the story before, but I used to help with hiring at a school that I used to work at. And so people would send in their resume. Especially Americans didn't like this. They hated this. And you're like, sorry, but you need to include a picture. And they're like, that's discrimination, etc. I'm like, well,
that's China.
There's nothing we could do about that. That's how China operates. And they do operate that way.
They do.
You know? So anyway, let's see where this goes.
American attendants are old aunties whose wrinkles could trap and kill flies. This is kind of a newer phrase in Chinese.
It's kind of mean. It's kind of mean.
This is the clip I'm talking about.
Could be your grandma, bro. Like,
Yes. So they keep showing this one. Doesn't the airline industry cater to the youth? And they keep showing
Doesn't the airline industry cater to the youth?
Well, it means like, isn't it a young industry, like for young people? You know what I mean?
Are they talking about the people that go fly?
It's both. The way I read
this, is this a club? Do you need to have like sexy dancers in the club or something?
Well, this is how they portray it.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Go ahead. flight attendants are all graceful and beautiful.
身姿婀娜的气质美女，她们身穿统一
They
的
wear
空乘制
uniforms, have elegant manners, and warm, thoughtful service to make people feel like a spring breeze. Continue.
Yeah, okay.
I'll explain.
All right.
举止优雅，服务热情，周到，让人如沐春风。然而让人惊讶
What's surprising is that the USA, which claims to have the world's strongest airline,
Do they? Do they though?
This is called
What,
straw man.
American
It's called straw
Airlines?
man.
It's like, I've never heard that before.
No, neither have I.
Oh, American Airlines is the strongest airline.
That's what we go, actually,
What
as
the hell?
Americans, we go around saying that all
I've
the
never
time.
heard that before. It's made up nonsense.
I met this guy the other day from
Yeah.
Slovenia, right? And I was like, tell me a little bit about Slovenia. And I immediately cut him off and I said, tell me about their airline.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't even know if we have. I said, yeah, exactly. America's the strongest airline in the world. That's what I said.
I can picture you saying
and then
that.
I pushed him in the mud.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, haha, your airline sucks.
Yes, exactly.
Our American airlines, you know.
That's what I said.
Who the hell says that? Anyway, okay, so apparently Chinese people...
I like how they don't show an American airline, by the way. It's
No.
a Dutch airline.
KLM?
Yeah, it's Dutch.
So apparently Chinese
So, yeah,
people, according
there's
to the
that.
Chinese internet, think
Yes.
that America
Is the
goes around
strongest.
saying that the USA has the strongest
Yes.
airline.
Yes.
Do
So-
we? Yeah, okay,
特
let's
有
continue.
全球最强航空公司
So
的
it
理由
says
飞机上
the stewardesses have ordinary looks, and actually,
Yeah.
what they mean by that is that they're ugly. That's what they're implying.
That's what they're
here,
implying.
right? And that,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
的空姐
Okay.
颜值普遍一般，甚至很多都是头发
Lots of
花
them have gray hair and wrinkles on their faces, and they keep using this clip.
They
of
keep
this
using
woman.
that same woman was filmed by
She was-
somebody.
It's actually no. This woman. It was part of a documentary.
Oh, it was?
And they keep clipping it out
So-
and using it in thousands of Douyin videos to be like, look how ugly and old stewardess is in America.
What?
I feel really bad for her.
It's-
She's
yeah.
like, she's obviously
I mean, that's
served
good.
for a long time.
That's good. That means that,
Yeah.
you know, she's
She's
able
taken
to hold
care
a
of
job
and-
and
yeah.
do her thing. And, you know, that's kind of part of the American thing is not to discriminate as long as people can do the job right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, it's a beautiful thing.
Sure.
Continue.
褶子满脸的大妈，
为什么中国的空姐她的
Okay,
年轻
so
漂亮？
look, this is pervasive.
Yeah.
There's influencer after influencer. I was like, why in China are our flight attendants so beautiful, but in America they're old IEs or aunties, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, that fly comment was very rude.
It is very rude. Yeah. I
Did-
mean, like it could be your grandma.
而美国的空姐清一色的大妈
See,
呢
they，keep
这是因为
using
美国
her.
空姐们只老了，她们曾经也是年轻漂亮的姑娘。
不同国家的空姐，美国
Okay. Pause there. So there's different versions of this. So there's that whole thing where they say mean stuff and they're like, look, it's because America's bad. And I've actually seen ones that said America's crumbling and China's on the up and up. So you should feel lucky as a Chinese person.
Yes.
That we have beautiful flight attendants. It means our country is prosperous, but America's poor and bad.
Yeah.
Right? It spiraled out of control.
That's how it goes.
But they also use her in these things. It's like, let's look at American stewardesses, let's look at stewardesses of different countries. First, they show America, and they use her again.
Yeah. Poor old girl. Yeah.
印度
And then it goes India, and then
Yeah.
and it's weird. It only kind of slams America in these videos.
Yeah.
埃塞俄比亚
This is Ethiopia. So they show attractive women in every country except
中国
for America. They show like older women
Yeah.
in all these videos, and then they're like, "Look, this is China." And they show like this. Is Pause it there.
The sound effects.
Pause that there.
Yeah.
Go back. to that
I'll go
real
back
quick.
a little bit.
So because of this, there's this trend, right, of showing that one particular older woman who's still a stewardess. And I'll give credit to some of the commenters. Some of the commenters were saying she's 82 years old, she's still working. That's actually a successful country where someone can be able-bodied and want to work. That's a good thing. It's
Sure.
a good sign. And some people are like really mean, right? This is horrible. What a terrible country America is because of these old, I don't want to look at old ladies when I'm on planes, right? So there was kind of battling between that. However, it devolved.
Yeah.
And so when you're scrolling through this trend
Yeah.
of the American, it's called the American air hostess in Chinese,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
美国的空姐. This is the trend. Then all of a sudden you get people's cell phone videos, not the documentary clip anymore. You get people's cell phone videos. Oh, I took this on an American airline. And
exactly.
it shows an older woman with these sound effects
Yeah,
and the
doing- yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't add that.
No, I'm sure you didn't.
This one, this particular video, go back.
Yeah.
I want to read that.
Okay.
I didn't have time to translate it. So it says when she was young, she was a air hostess, right? Now she's an Air grandmother, right? So these clips are going around with these kind of not very nice clownish sound effects, and they're all over the place. So now it's a trend to film American old hostesses, air hostesses, and then post them on Douyin.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, if you feel that way, you should, for all politeness, you should probably keep that in your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like the first time I flew on a plane in America, I was kind of shocked at like the state of the air hostesses compared to everywhere else I've traveled in the world, because, that's the way America is. Yep. It's just all about, there's no discrimination.
It's also way deeper than that. It's about unions. It's about that it's not an attractive job for younger people.
Yeah, I get it. There's a huge thing, but like you go to various other countries, Singapore or all these different countries, they have like air hostess schools where they teach them.
China
they basically breed them to be a specific look and a specific way, and it's something that couldn't fly in America because of the anti-discrimination laws. That's the thing. You kind of have to be from a discriminating country. To have pretty air hostesses. Yeah, and that's something that was
an ecosystem, really.
The America was like that in the '60s and so on. And things changed. So it is what it is. But you don't need to be mean about it.
No, I think the whole point I wanted to show you is that this is a phenomenon on the Chinese internet. But what was interesting was there's comments in support, and it's actually backfiring a little bit because they're trying to use this for nationalism. A lot of people in China aren't dumb, right? Yeah, they're like, well, I think this is really nice. This is like a successful society.
Sure.
But there's a comment there, like for example, an example of a bad one says like, the best way I could translate this is, doesn't she pass the scrapping law? Like, because in China, if a car is older than like 12 years,
you have to scrap it.
So they're saying she's so old she should be put out to pass, or like scrapped, which that's just not a nice thing to say.
No, just people being mean. But again, the fact that it's become a huge thing on Chinese internet and it's being allowed to happen means it's being endorsed.
But let's tie this back to the main event of our show. What I did notice that this does have nefarious purposes. So as fun as this segment is supposed to be, you have a situation where people are genuinely interested in why American air hostesses are old and why Chinese ones are all pretty, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I started to notice this anti-American kind of tilt on the whole thing and how it's about a crumbling society versus a successful society in China, I also noticed a massive amount of promoting Russian air hostesses. And with the tilt on that being China and Russia's friendship is so good, so we support the beautiful air hostesses of Russia.
Yeah.
See how that works?
Yeah.
Pro-Russia, anti-America. There's always a propaganda kind of tilt on this stuff.
They seem to always use this same clip of this one air hostess.
And it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So again, it's never just an internet trend in China. I think this goes to your point about China endorses things it doesn't block. And if something exists on the Chinese internet, it exists for a reason many times.
Absolutely. If it's not supposed to be there, it's not there. If they don't like it, it's not there. If they like it, it's there.
Yes.
It's that simple.
Like,
That's such Chinese humor. Let's see what he's doing.
今天心情不太好，我莫名。
That's funny.
When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.